Let's go. I remember when I remember when I lost my mind. There was something so pleasant about that place. Even your emotions have an echo in so much space. And when you're out there without care, yeah, I was out of touch. But it wasn't because I didn't know enough. I just do too much. Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Possibly. Hi everybody, I'm Crazy. Crazy Gracie, that's my name, don't wear it out. Actually, my name is Gracious, so Gracie is short for gracious. And goodness gracious, goodness me, I have lived a life, haven't I? So I am bipolar. That is my mental diagnosis. Officially, I was clinically diagnosed at the age of 19. And so it has been a long 6 years with a lot of escapades. So I'm raw dogging it. We're doing this video, no condom. So I just have this little mic here that I'm using to talk. And I just have my phone and I have a little stand. That's it. But I'm not going to let my lack of income or my lack of equipment or lack of anything get in the way of what I want to produce and what I want to show the world. What I want to share with the world is the misconceptions, common misconceptions that people have when they hear the word or the mental diagnosis bipolar. So when I usually go up to people and I tell them, hey, I'm bipolar, they say, oh, so you you're up and down, you're crazy, you're a roller coaster. The problem with bipolar is that you can have a whole host of emotions within two poles, okay? The two poles for bipolar is mania and depression, okay? That's it. You're either really, really low or you're really, really high. And with mania, the characteristics of mania, you have restlessness, you have a high sex drive, you have impulsivities, you have delusions of grandeur, you have so many things that can put you in a lot of danger. You can go broke, you can do a lot of things, but there's a lot of irritability that comes with convincing somebody that you think that you're normal when everybody knows that you're out of your mind, but you're so out of your mind that you don't see it. And then you have depression. That is a lack of motivation and just a lack of willingness to be alive, okay? That's really deep. So let's get into that. There's a book by an American clinical psychologist and bipolar disorder researcher called Kay Redfield Jamison, and she wrote a book titled An Unquiet Mind, a Memoir of Moods and Madness. So she details her life having bipolar disorder. And there's a quote that I'd like to share with you that says, my manias, at least in their early and mild forms, were absolutely intoxicating states. They gave rise to great personal pleasure, an incomparable flow of thoughts, and a ceaseless energy that allowed the translation of new ideas into papers and projects. Medications not only cut into these fast-flowing, high-flying times, they also brought with them seemingly intolerable side effects. It took me far too long to realize that the lost years in relationships cannot be recovered. That damage done to oneself and others cannot always be put right again. And that freedom from the control imposed by medications loses its meaning when the only alternatives are death and insanity. How about that? How about that? Okay, so this is not a diagnosis. This is not a disorder to play with. I've had a lot of people, and we're gonna get into this. I just want to tell you about the do's and don'ts all right, along with the misconceptions, but the do's and don'ts of dealing with someone who is bipolar. The first being, do not try to bring them back to reality. Reality has sunk ship. Reality is out the door. Reality is gone for people who are bipolar. There was this story of a man who, I think he was going through dementia or something. He had Alzheimer's or he had schizophrenia. He had his two granddaughters, or they were cousins or something. And he kept confusing them with his wife and their grandma. And so he kept calling them that. And one of them was just like, fine, go with it, whatever. You know, he's out of his mind anyway. And then you had another one, the other cousin, who said, no, we are gonna have to bring him back to reality. And that's the snap. That's the way, that's where you effed up, okay? Because she knew that the moment she knew that she effed up was when he chased her down the street with a butcher knife. Yeah, because what you don't want to do is you don't want to drive a crazy person more crazy. They're just going to do crazier things. So we have these medications to impose and to oppress and to sedate, okay? And sometimes they work, but sometimes they're just bull crap, okay? And you have to know, have you exhausted all alternatives before you say, let me take this person to the mental hospital, let me get them medicated, let me get them on something? Have you done it? And for me, I can say yes, personally, my family did all that they could in order to get me right. And they thought that all of the other options had ceased, so they were going to put me into a mental institution. And I've been to how many mental institutions? Probably 3 or 4. And how many times have I been? Probably like 7 or 8. And how long have I been bipolar or clinically diagnosed? I mean, I might have been bipolar my entire life. 6 years. So that's a rate at which you don't want to go. But it's better than a funeral, right? I have tried to eliminate myself countless times. Actually, I can count 4 times I've tried to do it. And it scared my mom each and every time. And she did not deserve that. She did not deserve that punishment. She did not deserve a daughter who is a major mess up. And that brings me to another song that we have. It's a new, more popular song called Messy. I heard the song and it really resonated with me. Messy lyrics. And it's by Lola Young. And it says, cause I'm too messy and I'm too effing clean. You told me get a job and you asked where the hell I've been. And I'm too perfect till I open my big mouth. I want to be me. Is that not allowed? And I'm too clever. And then I'm too effing dumb. You hate it when I cry unless it's that time of the month. And I'm too perfect till I show you that I'm not 1,000 people I could be for you. And you hate the effing lot. You hate the effing lot. Yeah, I'm so many things. I can be so many freaking things. I can be the best girl to you, the worst girl to you. I can be the best friend to you, the worst friend to you. I can be so many things. I have so many faces. Bipolar has a transcending amount of consequences that no one can ever anticipate, especially not somebody who is bipolar. No one wakes up and says, I'm going to be crazy and I'm just going to mess my life up. No one ever does. And the people who are bipolar can say that they didn't know what they were doing. Possibly. I, as a bipolar person, as a person who has bipolar disorder, listen, I've been through so many things. I've ruined and wrecked relationships, and I've wrecked my life up and down and all around. Down the street, up the street, highway, byway, whatever. I've done it. I've tried to end my life. I've tried to reignite my life. I've tried so many different things, and some things don't work. But another thing that you don't want to do is you don't want to try to change somebody who's bipolar. Let them be themselves. If you can't be yourself, the biggest thing that really infuriates me as someone who is bipolar is the idea that people want to mold me and make me into something that I'm not. And I want to let that sit. How many times have you been told to be something or be someone or do something? Or how many times have you just thought, this is not me and I can't do that? How many times have you rejected it? And how many times are you forced to become that, to do that, regardless of the situation? Sometimes we're forced to do things. Sometimes we're forced to grow up. We're forced. We didn't choose it. I didn't choose to be bipolar. I didn't choose to be this way, but I am. And here's another thing. Here's a don't for people who have this disorder. Do not use your disorder as an excuse. At the end of the day, it is night, but also at the end of the day, you must know that you have to take responsibility for your actions, bipolar or not. Because everything that you do is on you. No one cares. No one cares about your problems. No one cares about the solutions. Nobody cares once you've done harm to them. They want to know how you can make it right. And the first thing that you can do, acknowledge that you have a problem. Acknowledge that you have this disorder. Learn more about it. Learn your triggers. Learn how to communicate with people when you're going through either mania or depression. Learn how to take your medications as prescribed. Learn to listen to your doctors. Learn to listen to your therapist. Learn to listen. Okay? And listen now to what I'm saying, because you may have heard it 1,000 times, or this may be the first time that you're hearing it. But listen and comprehend. Let it sit fully. Because this world wouldn't go round if it weren't for us people with bipolar disorder. This world wouldn't go round if there were several other people with several different disorders. There's something called neurodivergence, and at the point at which our brains diverge is where you find these spectrums of normalcy. And everybody wants to make it to the middle, but some people are on the very far end, left or right, okay? So some people are far off better or far off worse, whoever knows. But we all just want to make it to the middle, and we can't, because not everybody is freaking normal. Mind blown. Okay, so not everybody is normal, right? But I want to tell you this, and I will end, okay? I'll end with this. We have to embrace our differences, and we have to accept them. We have to embrace our similarities, and we have to accept them. So, that's it. That's all the time that I have. That's all I'm holding you for. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you come back. Let's have a good time. Bye.